Hey guys, it's me, Master of Pasta, here with my new video on the YouTube video sharing site, Drawing Stupid Shit with Master of Pasta. I'd like to clarify immediately that this is not a tutorial thing. You're welcome to take it in, right, and, get something out of it, but, don't treat this as, objective drawing advice. I'm not really a very structural, anatomical artist. I consider what I do to be more like advanced doodling. Now I feel like it's appropriate to explain the reasoning behind the existence of this series, because it seems like a random ass choice to start with Vivian, right? Random ass character from a Mario game, but she's the reason behind this series' existence. Okay, I drew a random Twitter shit post, right? Because of a people like that a lot, and I kept drawing her because she ended up being one of those characters where I kept redrawing them because they were fun to draw for me, right? And then over time I was like, damn, I'd like to explain why I find this fun and explain my choices and shit. But I didn't have any friends who were interested in listening to me psychotically ramble about a cartoon character. But then I realized, you know what people who psychotically ramble about shit do when they don't have any friends? They make YouTube videos. So yeah, we're gonna get into drawing now. So now, you being as observant as you are, you probably noticed that I actually bothered to get a reference image this time. But here's the thing: we don't fucking good lord, Clip Studio. We don't fucking need it. She's an easy character to memorize, which is something I always appreciate. Cause I'm a lazy ass. I don't like having to Google a character to know how to draw them. So you can't say that she's the easiest Mario character to draw because Goombas and shit exist, but I'd argue she's even easier to draw than Mario. Now we're gonna actually start. So this is where a proper artist would probably tell you to draw a full oval for her head, but I'm a lazy motherfucker, so we're just gonna draw about half of that. And then I feel the next most important part of her build, right, is the fucking giant lock of hair that I'd say obscures her eyeballs. The biology isn't clear, we'll get to that later, but yeah, we're gonna want to draw a big ass swirl, and then remember that it needs to cover up half of her face, so it needs to be kind of almost rectangularly blocking important half of her head. I think that'll function, that'll work. And then draw where the cat brim sort of curves up to accommodate for that, because the hair lock is a little strange in that it overlaps with the fucking brim of her cap, but it also doesn't. So I like to draw this sort of mustache shape for her hat. And then and make it that three-dimensional by adding these little areas underneath it to make it a proper brim, and then make it into the actual fucking brim by draw the goddamn brim. There we go. It kind of looks like a pirate hat right now, but it'll look witchy soon enough. You gotta add this sort of cone on top of it, but it's rounded off, right? It's round. It's what can I compare it to? It's like a chestnut almost, and then for it needs to curve this way, right? Because it's a witch hat, not a fucking cone. So what I like to do is what I call the Deadpool nipple. It sort of has this kind of curve to it instead of just being a straightforward thing. I picked that up from some fan art I saw of her, which was pretty popular and has been for the last week or so because of Luigi. Yeah, I think that'll work for our purposes. It's not the biggest the hat could be, but it looks about right. Now, next important, there's sort of an order of operations to drawing a character, right? The next thing you're going to want to do is put her mouth in, I think. Now, in the actual game, this is just a yellow line, but it's implied to be her lips, because when she opens her mouth, there's a yellow ring around that. I've seen plenty of artists who like to just make the entire thing yellow, which is fine, but I think lips are funny. They're a funny bit of anatomy, so I just give her actual lips. which is something else that I picked up from fan art and not the game. Then you're gonna want to add her cute little perpetually blushing cheeks. I mean, these aren't like 100% necessary, alright? She doesn't need these, but she looks kind of naked without them, you know? But I sometimes when I fuck up like drawing the making it look like her top half of her face is actually like covered up, I add like a little bit of shadow detail. This will be important later too, don't worry. Now for her body, okay? Vivian's kind of a fucking fat ass. Like she kind of has like a gut going on. But and guts are, you'll find that those are like the easiest bodies to draw, just like cartoon characters with guts, because you literally just draw like a kind of like a messed up C almost, and then you have it. And then she has arms. Yeah, those are pretty straightforward. I don't really need to explain those. Now you need to man up a little bit. All right, you need to let your nuts hang out a little bit, because now you gotta draw hands. Hands, for me, I just kind of have to like free wing it. With the gloves in particular, you want to add cuffs, of course. And then for the thumb, it's sort of, I try to like make it one motion. Like one, like make the shape of the thumb first and then do the rest of it. For Vivian in particular, her like default pose kind of has her like hands like splayed out all gaily and happily and what have you. Because, you know, she's Vivian. But yeah, it's kind of it'll help. It probably helps to draw the general shape first and then add in the finger details. Like that looks okay, right? That looks all right. I mean, the pinky's kind of fucked up. Let me get in there, and there we go. Now she's holding her pinky out a little bit, being like fucking extra gay, like holding tea and shit. And now you're gonna need to do the other hand. This is gonna be sort of like from a different perspective, right? Like you need to have it so like it's also like that other one, but from another like angle, because it's a different hand. See, this is where my method of just draw the shape in one swift motion kind of screws me over, because like there I just effortlessly put the rest of the hand down, so maybe not the best example, but you get it. Okay, now you can draw the rest of her hair so she doesn't, you know, look bald. I have foolishly shaded in the brim before adding this, so don't do that. But you're gonna make like this really shrimpy little spaghetti noodle thing, right? Oh, how are you gonna make that three-dimensional? Watch. Boom. Easy. Now she has hair. Congratulations, you have. She is no longer bald. Now you gotta connect her to the ground. You gotta give her like her shadow tail thing. I'd like to stress that this is not like a Casper, like a ghost thing. Like her whole thing is being a shadow, right? Like that's why like half of her face is obscured, is because she's like a shadowy being. This isn't like a Casper tail. This is like what connects her to the fucking ground, okay? So, you know, you want it to be wavy, of course, but then you're gonna want to like make it like flat at the bottom, right? So it, you know, so it's a shadow. Comes out of the ground. This is like how she connects to the ground, and just like that, yeah, you're fucking done. Congratulations. You're not done if you're drawing her from like literally any other angle than this though. So let's keep going. Now for me in particular, there are some expressions where I like to like let her show her eyes, right? Now the biology is kind of confusing there. I'm not sure she's actually like meant to have eyeballs at all. Like if you take her hat off, she might just not fucking have any. But I've just gone ahead and assumed that they are there. They're just hidden under her brim and hair at all times. It's like a sort of like raven thing, if you will. Like it's a hidden detail that can only come out in certain occasions. So let's say that like she's really like surprised about something, right? Let's draw that expression. So she's kind of got like the Mario like object eyes, where like there are these like single solid color like fucking like cylinders or ovals. They're not three-dimensional pops. They're ovals. But Then you can, you know, add the mouth, and this is where her having lips comes in handy, because she gets to have, like, funny-ass, like... See, this is what I mean, lips are funny. Probably not the shape the mouth would actually have, and with this expression, though, hold on. You'll come to realize that I care way too much about expressions in particular. But, well, now she has her eyeballs showing, right? So let's draw her face to, you know, acknowledge that this isn't just a face, right? And then, for her hair, I feel like it should, like, sort of, like, curve the other way, now that, like, it's, like, not covering her face. It should, like, be popping out, like, it kind of looks like fucking, like, Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents. Almost said Amazing Odd Parents, so I'm not... Anyways, then you know, draw the rest of the fucking Vivian, and, here's where, I'd like to show, like, my thought process. This is, like, the entire reason for this video, alright? I don't just draw her eyeballs, I also put them in shadow. Because, you know, when a character has, like, a detail, like Vivian here not having, like, proper eyeballs, like, showing... when you break that rule, I still like to try and, like, imply it. I can't, like, think of any other examples of that, like, right? Where, like, a character has a specific detail, and then you, like, violate that detail or whatever, and then, then you still try to, like, you know, suggest it with the fucking... With what you have available, you know, like, not, like, breaking the rules. Like, so let's just say, like, her brim is still, like, her brim and her hair is still casting a shadow down onto her eyeballs. So even when they are showing, they're still in shadow. Like, there's still, like, there's still something hiding there. But, yeah. Now for, doing her front-facing, which is... Sorry, here on the screen. That's, sort of different from doing her from the side, because, well, how do you do her fucking hair? I mean, she's a paper character, right? So, well, let's first of all draw the rest of the goddamn Vivian. Let's just, yeah, we'll just say it's that. And then, you know, doing her from the front, you know, you gotta do both sides of the gut this time. That she's probably not that fat. I forgot to mention during the arms, but those should also be kind of, like, thick-ish. You know, they can't be, like, really skinny arms like that. But, anyways, so, for her hair, what I like to do is sort of, like, still, like, have it flow outwards, right? But it needs to, like, well, not flow outwards, it needs to curve inwards. It needs to maintain the curve, but it still needs to, like, fucking, you know, be more, like, it can't do this anymore, but it still needs to, like, and then if you still want to have the curl, right, let's just imply the hands, let's be lazy there, you know, you can, do that. It's sort of like a snail shell, almost, like, if you can draw the swirl of a snail shell from a bunch of different angles, then you can draw Vivian's hair from other angles, I think. But, yeah, this has been my harebrained, quote-unquote tutorial. Now, I'm sure you're asking, but Pasta, you didn't color her. Let me show you a really powerful trick, alright? You take the fucking color picker, and you go to Google, you download the image again, and you put it in there, and, then you have the colors. Look. Alright, congratulations, you're done. You have graduated from Master of Pasta's drawing Vivian class. Thank you very much for having the incredible patience necessary to tolerate me for this long. I don't know if this is actually going to become a series, or if I'm just going to make this one video and dip out, but, yeah, later, hopefully.
Luigi, I just want to touch you all over.